A reading from Why Are We the Good Guys? By David Cromwell. A defining feature of state power is rhetoric about a moral or ethical role in world affairs. It goes like this. Errors of judgment, blunders, and tactical mistakes can and do occur, but the motivation underlying state policy is fundamentally benign. Democratic governments try to do good, or at least as little harm as possible. Reporters and commentators, trained or selected for professional reliability, tend to slavishly adopt this prevailing ideology. So, for example, on the 10-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, an editorial in The Independent on Sunday gushed about Bush's desire to spread democracy as an end in itself. It had been, the paper said, the germ of a noble idea. The regret was that the execution of the righteous vision had been naive, arrogant, and amorally compromised by torture and the abrogation of the very values for which the U.S.-led coalition claimed to fight. But by late 2011, we had NATO's successful mission in Libya, with tens of thousands killed and its leader Gaddafi brutally deposed, to help wipe the slate clean. The paper wrote that the deserts of North Africa turned out to be more fertile soil for democracy than could have been imagined. Libya was the great cause where the idea of liberal intervention could be rescued and to an extent redeemed from the terrible mistake of Iraq. Note that the invasion occupation of Iraq was described merely as a mistake. In fact, many people, including then UN Secretary General Kofi Annan and numerous specialists in international law, have stated that the invasion of Iraq was illegal, a war of aggression. Meanwhile, the horrendous murder of the Iraqi civilian Baha Moussa by British soldiers was, said The Independent on Sunday, a reminder of how much the Iraq War tarnished Britain's reputation abroad. The implication was that Britain's reputation is at root decent and only occasionally tarnished. The paper concluded that there is a hope that Britain, with a more realistic understanding of its capability, could regain some of the ethical role in the world that it lost after its mistaken response to 9/11. Again, we note the rhetoric about mistakes committed, not crimes. And how accurate is it to proclaim Britain's ethical role in the world? In several powerful books based on careful research of formerly secret UK government documents, historian Mark Curtis has laid bare the motivations and realpolitik of British foreign policy. Ethics and morality are notable in these internal state records by their absence. Curtis observes, a basic principle is that humanitarian concerns do not figure at all in the rationale behind British foreign policy. In the thousands of government files I have looked through for this and other books, I have barely seen any reference to human rights at all. Where such concerns are evoked, they are only for public relations purposes. But the myth of benevolence must be maintained, even to the extent of active deception of the British public.